You're in, dude. That's your time.
Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday, gamers.
What's up, everybody?
I'm your host, FPS. Oh, I'm sorry. What's my name? Ilocano SC. And I'm here with Mr. Top Hat Jones.
My name is Eric as well. It's my real name.
And Captain Stiffy, he'll be joining us shortly. He's wrapping up some work. And
some work stuff.
Yeah, some work stuff. So, it's episode 39, right?
39. That's what I wrote down.
Wrapping up Stiffy, exactly.
Perfect.
I didn't even catch that. Okay, so let's dive in. Hello, good morning, happy Friday, and welcome, gamers. We are FPS Guides, and our goal is to bring the gaming community together with reviews, guides, news, and clutch plays. This is our weekly podcast where we bring the latest in news, rumors, controversies, and discussions. Here you'll find some facts, some opinions, and a lot of lame jokes. If you like what we do here, be sure to check us out on fpsguides.com and follow us on social media. For all you listeners out there, FPS Guides podcast can now be found on Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google Play Music, and Alexa.
Pretty much everywhere you would listen to a podcast.
So, check us out. And we're a small but growing community comprised of gamers, young and old, who are just passionate about gaming. If you're interested in becoming a part of our community or becoming a content creator, just hit us up either via the website or the chat, and we'd love to hear from you.
And the Discord. Also the Discord.
And the Discord. That's true.
Don't forget about
Hit
that.
us up on the Discord, too. There's always somebody on the Discord, so somebody's always listening. And with that said, now let's jump into episode number 39.
39, yeah. We're almost at that big 52, you know?
Big 52.
Coming down to that year.
Vitamin J, I got your shirt. I just need your address. Don't put it up on the internet. Just
don't do that.
Just hit me up.
Put your social security number after it as well.
Yeah.
So have you been playing anything recently?
Yes, I played one game this week. The Show. MLB The Show 19, which is a PS4
you like baseball?
exclusive. You know what? I like the last 3 innings of baseball.
So you like aspects of baseball?
Yes, I like playing baseball. I like playing wiffle ball, even driveway baseball, and even like on the diamond.
And you rented this game out, right?
Yeah, I rented the game.
Okay.
I can't see myself playing it too long, so I did the 3-day rental.
Mm-hmm.
And
how much was that?
$10 on Redbox.
Fair.
Yeah. And I've been hearing good things about it. I know Vitamin J, one of our regulars on our stream.
Mm-hmm.
He says that he bought a PS4, I think, specifically for that game. I'm like, man, it's got to be a pretty good game. If it's anything, I mean, the games that I've done that for was Smash, and it's a great game. So maybe this thing will hold up to its reputation.
Mm-hmm.
And it did not disappoint. It's a good game. I don't love baseball enough to be hooked by it.
Right.
But if I did, yeah.
Like you could see how a huge baseball fan would be like, oh, this is good.
Oh yeah, the graphics were good. The gameplay was good. I was expecting typically when something is so visually heavy that there's a bit of delay or a little bit of clunkiness.
Like some lag,
especially like when fielding. But no, it was smooth. It was very intuitive and predictable. Oh, okay. I'll put quotations on that intuitive. The pitching mechanics was kind of
tougher to handle.
I'm not used to that. I didn't know what that throbbing heartbeat in the middle was. And then Long Time explained that you want to get that as small as possible to
like precision.
To
maybe that's like the precision of your pitch.
Right. So the two things that I found different that I wasn't used to was seeing where the pitcher wants to put the ball, because you could, from the batter's box, you could see where he's going to place the ball, and then you could see the heartbeat of how accurate it's going to be. But I guess it kind of evens it out. Pitching is tough, and learning pitching selection also. Yeah, it was. There is a learning curve, but it's not so useless.
Is it a friendly learning curve?
I don't know. Because I only had an hour in the game, I don't know how friendly it is. I know I didn't get much better at the end of the game than I was at the beginning of the game. So and then we didn't play against a computer. We did co-op.
Right.
I played against Alonso the Great, and he had fun too. It was enjoyable. He cracked a home run on me. That kind of, and he kind of called it before the game. He was like, "Yeah, rookie of the year. This dude's nasty." He cracked a home run.
Damn, all right.
On our first game, so that was kind of ugh. But Good. I liked it. I liked the game. If I was a baseball fan, I could see myself liking the game. Let's put it this way. I think it executed baseball better than NBA 2K executes basketball.
Okay.
And that's saying something.
That's probably kind of due to it being a PlayStation exclusive as well. Yes, dude.
I like that. Is there a way we could like put that on the?
Yeah, like on our back screen. That's perfect.
So here he is. Yeah,
there he is.
Everybody
right here.
Captain Sniffy.
He was here the whole time. I didn't even see him.
So
yeah, I think that has to do with being a PlayStation exclusive. That Sony could be like, make this as good as you want. Here's money.
were they the studios? Is Station the developer for it?
I don't know the developer, but it's a Sony first party game, so it's a Sony first party dev.
Okay. Hey, it's a. You know what
Like you could tell the polish is very good on that game.
Yes, and from what I've read and what I've been told, the part about the game that gets you is basically building up. Like you kind of like you build up your character, you build up your team with skills, and you just kind of like climb.
Because you feel responsible for the team. You're like, oh, every part of that team is good because I made it good.
Right.
Nice.
And that's about it. Strangely enough, my favorite sports game ever was NHL 94. I think NHL 94.
NHL 94.
Yeah, it was on the Super Nintendo. I think it was NHL 94. That was a crazy game. I played everything.
Probably because it was a blast.
It was a blast to play.
Straight fun.
I mean, checking your friends was super fun. Injuring them was super fun, and then like you
getting the
best. Yeah, it was. I need to play a modern NHL title to kind of compare it to. That's kind of random because we were talking about the show.
True, but it's still sports.
It's still sports related.
It's still a sports game.
Yeah. That's all I played this week. What about you, Top Hat?
I haven't been playing too many video games as of late. I've been kind of busy, but I've been jumping into Smash more because there's a local tournament I want to go to in 2 weeks by me, and I want to like show up and win.
Show up?
I'm trying to show up and win.
So
I'm trying to like play a decent amount of Smash in this upcoming 2 weeks. But other than that, Days Gone I haven't touched in like 10 days just because I've been working, so I didn't get that much time to play it. And that's not a game you can just pop in for like 30 minutes to an hour and play. It's very story driven, so you have to be in it for a while. But other than that, I think I'm going to jump on some Xbox Game Pass games. I know Wolfenstein 2 is up there, out now for Game Pass, so I'll probably jump into that.
Wolfenstein 2.
Yeah.
It's on Game Pass?
Yeah, it's on Game Pass right now.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
And I know that has a new co-op mode coming.
It does.
Later.
Oh, not now. Everybody says that. Oh, this is coming. Crossplay's coming later.
Well,
co-op's coming later.
You gotta do something. You gotta make the game, right?
Yeah, but how many people honestly will buy a game on promises of this feature coming later?
A lot of people. A lot of people will do that. It's called pre-ordering.
They're suckers.
It's called pre-ordering, dude. That's what pre-ordering is.
Yeah, but like, I guess.
What's up, Captain Stippy? We just had a cameo from you a little earlier. I don't know if you saw.
Did you see your cameo?
My cameo.
This is your cameo.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, it's that.
I can see the likeness.
Oh, thanks.
That's pretty funny, man.
Yeah, that's like you in like 30 years once your beard turns white.
I'm a pirate and apparently, or ship captain.
But we were just talking about the games we were playing, and
okay.
I haven't been playing too much, but I was talking about how I'm trying to get back into Smash to show up at this tournament in 2 weeks and win.
Let's see, I've been playing. I tried Black Desert Online.
How was that?
It's very fun. It's the combat is like super fun. It's really fast paced. It's really actiony and stuff like that. There's a lot more advanced controls than you would initially think. Like usually when
what's the game first?
All right. Well, game is an MMORPG.
Okay.
Morpika. Morpika. You have. There's different. There's like 10 or so different classes. It goes through like the usual like fantasy RPG trope. And honestly I don't really know what's going on in the story. It's just fun to play, and me and D Poodley were looking for looking for an MMO to try out, because we tried out Skyforge last week, talked about that, and we were completely daunted by the amount of grind that was going to be required to actually get anything good in the game. So, but with this one, we were just like, yeah, let's try it out. And so I've been playing that. It was a good time.
Cool.
Combat's really really action-y, moment-to-moment kind of thing. There's more advanced controls than I would think there were, because usually in MMORPGs, there's you basically just have you have your abilities on your number keyboard, and you just 1 through 7 or whatever like that, and they do different active or passive effects, and that's basically it. But this one, it's the different action buttons along with different directions will do different things.
Okay.
So so
there's a little bit more.
Right. So the character that I chose, the archer, and he has these different dagger abilities. So if you just push the dagger ability, he'll just kind of charge forward and do a stab.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going side, he'll do these different kind of spinning moves and hit multiple times, and he'll also move at the same time, and then I'll just. There's actually tons and tons of skills that have different, back F will do something, forward F will do something, side F will do something.
So you definitely got to spend a little time in the game to learn it.
And and I also heard a lot of stuff about how this game is super grindy too. Basically once you get past level 60, it becomes very gear based.
Oh,
and so kind of like Destiny and stuff like that, where it becomes very gear based, and it's all based off of getting drops and RNG. The problem is the veterans of the game, the guilds, the big guilds, they basically camp the best farming spots. So new players can't really get good stuff because you're an army of level 100s, and you're just a level 60.
True.
So it's not really much you can do.
True.
But a lot of people say even despite that, it's still a really fun game, and playing through the game with all the different classes and stuff does, create a sense of novelty.
True.
Because there is a bunch of classes, and they're all really unique.
Are you gonna keep with it? Are you gonna keep playing?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep with it. And so besides that, been playing Diablo 3 actually. Me and JoeM517 have been getting into Diablo 3. And we're actually very surprised about how easy it is. I mean, we don't have because there's 13 difficulty or something like that. We don't have all the ones unlocked. We played the hardest we could, which is just hard mode. And it was ridiculously easy though. We were literally just going room to room and take 5 seconds to clear a room. All right, next room, moving on. And he was a wizard, and he has crazy DPS and can just kind of just melt all the enemies.
Okay.
And I was a monk, and I just don't die because all of his abilities are catered around self-protection, and then he also have buffs for my teammate, so he doesn't really die either. And it's
so what difficulty are you on now?
I'm still on hard. I'm actually doing Act 5 because the base game is Acts 1 through 4.
Okay.
And that's what Joey has. He doesn't have Act 5. That requires a Reaper of Souls expansion.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing Act 5 alone, and I actually just started a whole new character because I kind of wanted to play as the Demon Hunter. Because the monk, I said, the monk seemed a little easy. It was kind of just go into the crowd of enemies and start punching the hell out of all of them until they're dead. And you can just watch my health just go down a little bit, and then just skyrocket back up, and just go down and skyrocket back up. And it's just I'm just kind of sitting there just clicking attacks, So I was let me try a Demon Hunter. He should be fun.
True. So we're gonna keep playing more difficulties, higher difficulties with that.
Yeah. Because you get better loot, the higher difficulties, and it's more challenging and stuff. So
I mean, Diablo is a master of that. That is why it's famous.
And Diablo, so yeah, anybody playing Diablo 3 right now on PC, you want to play it, hit me up. I'm playing.
It's that name right there. That one.
Pretty sure it's this one. Actually, it might be the Captain Stiffy on Steam. I'm not really quite sure. Wait, I'm actually not. It shouldn't be. It's on BattleNet because not on Steam because it's Blizzard. So it's the Captain Stiffy.
Okay. All right. Cool. You guys want to talk about our first?
That's it. Yeah.
Our first headliner, or our only headliner, really, because it's not the busiest week in video game news.
But it's a fairly
back-to-back slow weeks. It's kind of weird, right?
That's in between.
Well, it's E3. E3 is a month away, so it's a dead time, and then just a crap load of information.
It's just in between these different.
But our first headliner is actually a historic one. This has never happened before. Is that employees of Riot Games is the developer behind League of Legends, had a walkout on Monday due to they were walking out to protest forced arbitration in their contracts.
What does that mean, Eric?
What does that mean, Sig?
What does that mean, Sig?
Basically, well, arbitration is a step before filing suit. Like, basically, trying to have you get a mediator and you have both sides trying to hash it out. So forced arbitration is basically it sounds like with the way that sentence reads, they walked out so that they can have some sort of mediation with the employers.
They walked out because they want to get rid of forced arbitration in past, present, and future employment contracts.
They want to get rid of forced arbitration?
Of it, yeah, in their contract.
Oh, they want to get rid of it. It's
because
in there now?
What?
It's in there now currently.
Yeah. Because the culture at that studio has been really bad. It's been really like super like boys club kind of like making very inappropriate sexual jokes, a lot of sexual harassment, a lot of stuff going on like that. So because of this forced arbitration, employees didn't really know what to do because of that clause.
Because they basically couldn't speak out. Like
you can sue it. I think what it does, it gives your rights to suing away, and you have to go through the arbitration steps instead of suing.
No,
is that correct or no? Okay, that's not right.
That's
not right. Sorry.
You never relinquish your rights to sue unless it says you're relinquishing. Forced arbitration just means you have to take that route before you start suing.
Okay.
And so that would mean like going through the process with internally.
Well, with a mediator, typically a neutral party. I'm speaking from the only experience that I have with forced arbitration is when one of the hurricanes messed up my roof.
Mm-hmm.
The clause in my insurance policy is before suing them, we have to go through arbitration or mediation. So what happens is a neutral third party comes in and they listen to both sides of the story.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually worked out great. We avoided having to pay the court fees. I avoided having to pay a lawyer. So did my insurance company. And we hashed it out. We met somewhere where I was happy and the insurance company was happy.
Okay.
Because due to my own fault, I waited a little bit too long to file the claim.
So is having a forced arbitration in a hiring contract weird? Is that like
I don't see why you wouldn't want it. It's good. It's good for the employee because they have another route where somebody can hear them out. Okay. Maybe the terms of it, maybe the mediator might be biased. Maybe I thought
it sounds like it's not totally a bad thing. So why are they?
I don't understand.
Yeah. I thought that actually, I think we could pull up this article probably.
Okay.
To maybe get a little bit more context.
Now, if the contract relinquishes your...
He disagrees.
I disagree, Ilocano SE. Well, a lot of people disagree with me.
But what my thought process was of why they're doing this is because...
thanks for hosting, Deepwoodley.
Oh, sweet. Is because that who is this in this case? Riot Games. That the employees would try to go through the forced arbitration route, but Riot Games would choose the mediator. Like, what I thought was that Riot Games would have more power over the process of the decision rather than just suing and going to court. They would just get some mediator that they liked or whatever to represent
right. So it's
that.
So it's.
So I thought it was more. I thought it was more about unequal size, is what I thought it was. But we're pulling up the article right now to give a little bit more context here. But I think Captain Stiffy right there had to go finish up some work stuff. Probably got a call from a customer or something, so hopefully he'll handle that.
The workers sue the company seeking class action.
But basically this whole thing came about because the culture at Riot Games was super bad. A lot of women especially were complaining, like, they would leave notes in the bathroom to be like, you can do this, you can get through this, and they would just cry their eyes out in the bathroom because it would be a horrible situation. There was like even hiring practices that were being skewed because of this. It'd be like, oh, it's a woman, I'd rather promote a man instead. Like, these are all things that are not acceptable in this day and age, or ever, really. But let's see if I can look at the chat here.
What's the chat saying?
Let's see. They can. So they control their reputation. They're always in control of the appearance of things. It's like stamping out whistleblowers. I think I'm reading that right because my eyes are really bad. But this is the first time this ever happened in the video game industry. So, did you gather anything from that article?
It's very wordy. This article is very wordy. They don't cut to the quick. I still read nothing that you're relinquishing your rights to sue. That avenue is still there. What's the problem?
I think the problem is that they're being forced to do that. They'd rather sue. They'd rather just sue because they think they have a stronger case.
So then you go into arbitration. You're not paying for the mediator. The company does.
But the forced arbitration, I thought, was you have to do forced arbitration first and then sue, right?
Yeah, but go in there with a closed mind. Just get it. It's just. Go through the motions. For some people, it might work, and other people, it might not. And the people that have their mindset.
I think the employees are afraid that it's not going to be as fair as just going to court regularly.
That's in their own mind, though. Like it's.
Well, that's why this is a story, though.
Yeah,
because
it's. I think they don't know what it is, and so they're like against it. I don't know what it is. I'd rather go to court. Well, yeah, you can go to court, but before you go to court, you have to try a lot of insurance companies, and when I review contracts, that's actually in a lot of clauses that it's going to go through arbitration. Try that route before you sue. And I think it makes sense, especially if
maybe that's why only 200 out of the 2,500 employees decided to walk out because they were like
200 out of the how many?
2,500
out of 2,500.
Yeah,
I think those 200. I would like to know what their stance is. Vitamin J is blowing it up. Let's see what he's trying to say.
I couldn't really read it. Sorry.
All right. I can't. Vitamin J says he agrees with Ilocano SC, which is me. If you were getting sexually harassed and you wanted to sue over it, you'd have to go through mediation first. They control the reputation. Who's they?
The Riot Games in this case.
They're always in control of the appearance of things. It's like stomping out whistleblowers. We'll settle for $200K and you don't say anything to the press. And then the culture persists.
So it's more of a brush under the rug type of thing. Maybe.
You have to go through mediation first, and the judge, after you do it, will ask if you were willing to do it. Remember, the judge who receives the case after mediation will ask if you were willing to work with the company, especially since you signed a contract saying you would do mediation.
Right, because of forced arbitration, which is what that is.
So what I'm saying is you go to mediation, you hear them out, and you don't accept any of their terms. That's it. So if I want to put it out there that this is what Epic does, my terms is not money. At mediation, I say my terms is you put an article out accepting that you guys let stuff like this through the cracks, and you perpetuate this type of harassment. Unless you do that, then there's no terms you can offer me in mediation. If this won't work with you, then we'll just take it to court.
Yeah, but won't they lose in court?
Why would they lose in court? They're going to lose in court
lawyers,
anyway.
Because lawyers?
If they were going to lose in court, they were going to lose in court anyway, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't know how to explain
So it's not... The show of it is more important than the actual meat of it. Like, the stance of, like, oh, we're going to... Because of this whole, like, crunch culture through gaming, it's like, oh, we're not gonna stand here and take this. So the show of it might be more important than the actual
what show?
Meat of it.
Mediation is silent and quiet.
No, them walking out is a show. Is like a statement, you know. So that's what I mean.
Oh, you mean the employees?
The show. Yeah, like
okay.
The actual image of them walking out of a big development company.
Maybe they just want to. They want to just bring.
But it
bring
sounds
a spotlight
to me like
over
this.
this.
Is it the best way to do it?
No.
Maybe this is the reason why Riot Games is like, yeah, we'll let them do this. We won't do anything to them. It's like maybe they're just like, okay, whatever. Like, go do whatever you're gonna do.
Vitamin J's rebuttal or
Did you,
his response is
yeah.
Okay.
You're under the assumption that they 100% get justice after not doing mediation.
They wouldn't, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't really know.
I don't see mediation being, whether or not you get justice is irrelevant if mediation was there. What happens the exchanges and the suit, whatever happens in court, happens in court. Like, if you're going to lose, you're going to lose. If you're only going to get 60% of what you're asking, then you're only going to get that whether or not you have mediation. Arbitration and mediation is just a precursor. It's sort of like, hey, before we go too crazy with this, where everybody has to lawyer up, can we just try to settle it like between you and us, like in a silent room? Like my mediation was in a private room in the library, at the city library, right next to the courthouse, and I went there a little bit skeptical. I said maybe this mediator is, he's for them. He's for the
which is what I
insurance
guess
company
people are afraid of.
So I was ready to basically say, no, this mediation is going nowhere. But it came to the total opposite. I pretty much got everything I wanted. The mediator kind of like sided with me. The mediator was like, well, he pays insurance for a roof. The roof was damaged. Like, here's evidence. Here's pictures. Here is the analysis from the roofing company. What's your rebuttal? So then the insurance company was basically like, well, he waited too long. And then the mediator's like, how do you respond to that? I said, I didn't know that my roof was damaged. I called you guys 8 months later because that's when my roof started leaking. I didn't even think it had anything to do with the hurricanes. I thought it was just old, so I need a new roof. When I called the roofer said, this is obviously hurricane damage. Your insurance company should cover it. So then the mediator says to them, how would he know to call you if his roof's not leaking? And I was like, yeah, you get him.
Get him.
Yeah, mediator, let's go. And I didn't have to hire a lawyer. I didn't have to pay court fees. Boom, I got a nice check. And I'm like, I like arbitration. As long as the mediator is unbiased.
It sounds like you had a particularly good experience with the mediator.
Interesting.
Might not be...
Well, the nature of mediation arbitration is, if you're always going to cheat some way, then the whole situation is bad, whether it's this topic we're talking about. But the goal is to hire a neutral party mediator. Mm-hmm. And if that is the case, then I don't see what's wrong.
Like, interesting. The intent is good, but whether or not it's followed out, I guess that's the question.
Yeah.
Like, the intent for a mediator...
Like, what's stopping a mediator being paid off by Riot Games?
Like,
what's stopping that whole mediation from... If you felt you're a victim and you feel that the mediator is being... Unfair, you can just be like, this is pointless. All right, we did mediation, but you're being unfair. It's time to lawyer up. Boom. And then you leave. And then when the judge hears you out, why are you guys here? Didn't you do mediation? Yeah. And that mediator was definitely not. So now the company's in trouble twice. For that case, and then for cheating on arbitration.
This will be an interesting developing story. This will be a very interesting developing story because Riot Games employees did say they want to take further action if this isn't addressed by their next internal staff meeting.
No, Vitamin J, that's not true. You signed a contract saying you would do mediation and you purposely sabotage your contractual obligation to it. No judge is going to be in your favor. You sign... Wait, I don't know what you're talking about there. You're... When I said no, I thought you're giving up your ability to sue.
He's saying you can't... I think it sounds like he's saying that if you can't, if you follow through with the mediation because that's what's required under contract.
You can't do anything else.
But then you purposefully are uncooperative or whatever during the mediation just so you can speed it up and get to the point where you can sue. Then he's saying that no judge is going to be doing your favor because you didn't put the effort into the mediation. I guess that's how I'm reading that.
Yeah, well then, that's your fault. Why'd you sign a contract if you didn't like it from the beginning?
Well, you need a job, right?
Okay, go work somewhere else. I don't understand. Guys,
I don't understand that either because
if they signed a contract saying that at the time they signed a contract, they were okay with mediation. Now they don't like it. Okay. You want to back out on a contract. This is just another...
It seems like something happens. That's my only thing.
Well, it's all... It's all
harassment or something?
Yeah, dude, tons of harassment. It's all spurred because of that. But I think it's a more interesting story in another week or two when these employees of Riot say they're going to take further action if arbitration is not removed from their contract. But I don't know what they can do. 200 out of 2,500? Whatever. They'll just hire 200 more people. Like,
especially at a game company, it's a very competitive market.
Like,
everyone wants to work.
It's really shitty to say, but you're expendable. Everyone is expendable at every job. So, like,
I like this one here. Vitamin J asks, "Have you read all of your iTunes terms?" No, but I did read all of my Gmail terms. Okay, and for Gmail, that long one, they actually own all your emails. They have the right to read your emails, which is crazy. And I didn't read my iTunes terms. And if there's something in there that was snuck in and I didn't read it, that's on me. I'm signing something I didn't read. That's me. That's on me. I'm not gonna blame anybody else for that. Yeah. You don't have to use iTunes. No one's making me use iTunes.
And the counter argument is going to be like for these guys to be like, oh, they needed money and they needed a job. It's like, oh, we'll go find another job. It's like, oh, well, it's going to be hard for me to do that. And then, you know what's going to happen after this is unionization is going to spread.
If you can't enforce this contract, what's the point of contracts? The moment, this is the ultimate slippery slope. Just because we're slapping anything sexually related to it, it now makes contracts backupable. You can do backsies because all of a sudden now the topic is about sexual harassment. Look, I'm not in favor of sexual harassment.
We're not downplaying it.
Right. All I'm saying is a contract is a contract. If you didn't like the contract in the beginning, you can negotiate it. You can negotiate that. You can cross out that line where you're waiving. You're not even waiving anything. Where you're agreeing to arbitration before going to court, you can cross it out, initial it, and say, I don't agree with that, but I agree with everything else. Here you go. And it's up to the employer whether to say yes or no. I don't understand why now after the fact. I mean,
because this is going to sound really bad. How do I say this? Because of things that happen within the studio, it's easy to make it in the open.
Oh my gosh, bro! I've worked at companies.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
The company was run, and I quit. I left.
I don't know what to say. Like,
but that doesn't make any contracts that you signed. Like, I don't know.
It's only this is only big because of this whole crunch culture in video game industries and everything. So that's why it's also making news.
Yeah.
But this is why it should be talked about because maybe people don't understand. Like I didn't understand. Like this whole process. So maybe if it's talked about more, people will be like, wait a second. This is weird. I don't think I want to do this. But I mean, we'll keep it up. We'll keep the story updated. It's definitely gonna be updated, I'll tell you that.
Are they gonna fire him? It's a walkout protest. Are they gonna get fired?
No, they said Riot Games specifically said to their staff, like their manager, staff and everybody, like, let them do this, like no repercussions. So basically, to me, this is saying let them tire and scream and kick themselves to sleep, and then after that, we'll just go back to whatever we're doing. That's what that is. That's like, go do your little protest, whatever, come back, and then we'll just continue work as normal. That's pretty much what I think will happen.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but that's what I think will happen. You got any input on that, or just it's a big cluster F?
No, I don't know. I mean, I'm just kind of coming in and out.
I think I should not pull that from The Verge anymore. I'm going to start not going to The Verge because that was not a very good article you said, right? So.
No, I pulled it from. I read the background on Inc. It was #1 Google results. So I read it on Inc. and it's very it's like I'm scrolling down. It's a ton of words, but they don't get to the meat of it.
Okay, maybe I'll pull it from something else.
Yeah,
but. That's our headliner. That's the big, the big story, quote unquote, that happened. We'll see. It's not going to turn out well, but we'll see. You guys want to talk about something else that's kind of exciting?
Yes.
No, I'm wondering. It's interesting that I didn't read my iTunes terms. Like, what if there's even like a line item in there that is unenforceable, but I still have to lawyer up to defend myself. Like
the human Sentai pad.
Yeah, let's say iTunes. Let's say one of the terms on iTunes is once you install iTunes on your computer, any music that you buy from anywhere else now belongs to Apple. You're like, if you play it, once you play it through the iTunes player, it's now property of Apple, and you relinquish your rights to that. It's unenforceable. But you'd still have to lawyer up if they said, yeah, okay, because you signed this and you didn't read it.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's why they're like 1,000. That's why they're like Dead Sea Scroll length long, dude. That's why no one reads
them. It's super long.
That's why they're designed to be dry and tedious and full of unnecessary words and clauses.
Now, I didn't read iTunes because I didn't think it was critical, but I did read Gmails, and Gmails was pretty eye-popping.
I don't think I've read one.
I've never read one. I'm a terrible person.
I don't think so. I sign things without reading them. Well, except for like when I bought my car, I read.
What do you guys want to talk about first? Sony's State of Play with new games or Ghost Recon?
Sony and then Ghost Recon.
Sony and then Ghost Recon. All right, so State of Play is Sony's basically Nintendo Direct style video of like, hey, these are our upcoming titles, what we're working on. This is kind of giving you an update on stuff. So they had that yesterday, and it was way better than the first one, let me tell you. The first one was not great. It was all VR focused, which if you have VR, cool. But, I don't, so I didn't really like it. But this next one was pretty good. Started off with a bang. Started off with a Monster Hunter World expansion called Iceborne that looks very cool. If you're still playing Monster Hunter, if you're still into it, definitely jump on that. It comes out September 6th. It's all snowy world. There's a bunch of snow monsters and everything. It looks cool. So if you're still playing it. And then after that, they had a cool game teased, Predator Hunting Grounds. That's pretty cool. Looks like it's coming out on in 2020.
Like Predator?
Yeah, like actual Predator.
Oh, sick.
Like they had like a unit like of Marines like scouring the jungle, and then you just hear like the Predator just, and then
I've heard of this.
The vision changes into like.
I think I've heard of this. It's like
it looks cool.
It's like a PvP where like some people play as the humans and one person plays as the Predator.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah,
it'll probably be like
that sounds sick.
Friday the 13th, but Predator, like
probably
like that.
Probably.
And then after that, they showed an extended look at a Medieval remake. I don't know if you remember this game. You remember it? Medieval? Oh man, it was right during that Spyro period.
Okay.
So that's like a classic one getting remade. Looks good.
I just never played it.
Not going to be playing it because, why? Comes out October 25th if you're interested though. And then a new game, Away the Survival Series, looks wild, crazy. You play as like different animals fighting other animals. It's pretty crazy. It looks kind of weird too.
Yeah.
But the big one was the cinematic and gameplay look at Final Fantasy VII Remake. That was the big thing they ended on. And it looked really good. It looked really, really good. They did a lot of changes. No more turn-based combat. It's going to be live-action combat like Final Fantasy 15 was.
Yep.
So to me, that's cool, but I don't know how that'll affect old Final Fantasy players of the original.
It looks great, too.
Visually it looks really good.
It looks really good.
Really good.
The combat looks fun, just like how...
Looks fast-paced.
I like Final Fantasy 15, so I think I'm going to like this one.
Then they said there's more info coming in June. And you know what's in June? E3's in June.
Yeah.
You know who's not going to be at E3? Sony. You know who's taking Sony's spot? Square Enix. Square Enix makes Final Fantasy. So
let's go.
I am expecting Final Fantasy VII to have a release date at E3 that day.
Are you a fan of turn-based?
In Pokemon?
Generally no.
In Pokemon?
Generally no. In Pokemon, yes.
Pokemon, yes.
Pokemon's like the only turn-based game I've actually really gotten into. But, I've tried really older Final Fantasies that were like purely turn-based, and I just did not.
Actually, I like Civ. Civ is turn-based. That's a strategy game.
That's
I like turn-based
strategy games. Yeah.
I don't like turn-based combat.
Yeah, I guess that's different. But if it's like a turn-based fighting game, for me I lose the fun.
Do you like turn-based?
I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna slash you with my sword, and you sit there and you're gonna smack me with your thing, and then just gonna keep hitting each other until one's dead.
Okay.
I don't know.
Is there any AAA titles recently, like modern, that's turn-based?
Persona 5.
Persona 5?
Yes, Persona 5.
Octopath Traveler, that's a AAA.
So it's still a thing nowadays?
Yeah, it's definitely still a thing.
Yeah, definitely still a thing.
Some people really like it.
Still really like it, it's not... For me, I think it depends on how it's executed. I was looking at gameplay of Persona 5, and it really didn't turn me off too bad. Okay. I could see myself playing it. But, like I said, with the Final Fantasy ones, for me, that one was a little boring. So, I don't know. I guess it just depends on how they deliver it.
So when it's not turn-based, whoever executes their move faster just does the move?
Well, when it's not turn-based, it's live action, so,
It's like Smash.
If they're attacking you, you actively dodge in a certain direction.
You have to do things.
Oh. Where if
it's like God of War.
If it's
God of War's
turn-based,
like that.
It's based off of your stats. Your evasion skill is reached, so you have a higher chance of evading an attack. But like you're not actually doing.
Yeah,
anything.
but you didn't input like a dodge.
Like, you didn't push dodge or shield or
like
block.
how you would on God of War, where you're like, I have to dodge this attack. Like I have to do this right now.
So is there a level? Is it more mental turn-based games? Is it more like a chess match where you can kind of, since you have time to think, you can think about what you're.
Yeah, you have to think
with
way
turn-based.
ahead.
It's much more like it's more strategy.
Okay.
Where like when it comes to live action games, it's more based off of player skill, I guess. And I use skill loosely as in like your ability to like read actions and then react to actions.
To anticipate actions.
To it like in Devil May Cry, that requires a heavy amount of like reading enemy movements and then reacting and such. Whereas like in turn-based, it's like a lot of them are like rock paper scissors. Like you have X attribute, I need to use Y attribute in order to have an advantage over your attribute. And then there's also like, like
so reflexes versus thinking.
It's basically I guess you could put it that way. It'd be like it would be like reflexes versus strategy.
Okay.
But it's not. But
true.
But there's still strategy some strategies that still involved in live action games.
Yeah,
like
the true games really meld those two. Like Bloodborne does it really well. Sekiro does it really well. God of War does it masterfully.
That's when you're taking enemies that have certain attributes or weaknesses and stuff like that, and you're exploiting it, but it's also skill based.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. It's like when you're facing a bunch of enemies and there's like a bunch of speed guys and a bunch of heavy hitters. You're like, okay, I have to think, how do I make this easy right now?
That's funny. Hey, Vitamin J, use Lear. Captain Stiffy's stiffness decreased. His stiffness decreased dramatically.
It's like Metapod used Harden, but it failed.
He just did a move. It's his turn. He did a move, and he lowered your stiffiness.
And he lowered my stiffiness. So now I would have to make a move. Yeah.
Can you increase your stiffiness?
You can.
Yeah, that's a move. If I use a
Captain
move.
Stiffy takes Viagra.
Captain Stiffy looks at
Captain
magazine.
Stiffy uses magazine. Uses Playboy.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, so that's generally the difference.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Generally, yeah.
And then, do you guys want to talk about Ghost Recon? Because I know I know you're excited about it. You just saw the gameplay footage.
Super sick.
All right, nice. Yeah, Ghost Recon, the Breakpoint.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I'm gonna get it.
October 4th.
Yeah, October 4th. That's not that far.
Year.
That's not that far.
And if you guys haven't seen the gameplay, you should, because it's pretty sick. If you liked Wildlands, you're gonna like this one too. This is going to be a direct story sequel from Wildlands. The character Nomad from Wildlands, he's coming back, and he's just as badass as he used to be, and he's going ahead and trying to survive. The game has a lot more emphasis on survival, apparently. The story being that the Ghost team, because that's what Ghost Recon, your Ghost Recon is the team in which you are a part of. The Ghost Recon team is getting hunted down.
It's like you're disavowed almost.
Yeah, you're basically like enemies, kind of like enemies of the state. You're getting hunted down by a private military force on a fictional island called Aurora.
I think it's Aura.
Something like
that. Yeah.
Yeah. The game looks really cool. It looks amazing. It's gonna have a lot of the same features as Wildlands, like being able to play with up to 3 of your friends, so 4 people in total. And you have options in how you want to engage in a certain area. Like you guys can go in stealthy. Have like one of your buddies is a sniper, one of your buddies is flying around the drone, and you have 2 little dudes coming in with silencers. Like you can do that, or you can change it up and just go in guns blazing Rambo style. There are some differences that they come with the game. There are classes now. There are 4 classes.
That's cool.
In the game. And they're not restricted to like one person per class. You can have 4 people of the sniper class if you want to. It's totally up to you. The classes can be changed, not on the fly, but at your base. So it's not like you have to pick. It's not like you have to pick a class from the beginning of the game and you're stuck with it. Like you can pick and switch as you need. So that's also really helps the dynamic of playing with your friends. Like, if you can play multiple classes, but your buddy literally sucks at everything but sniper, then let him be the sniper and you pull the rest of the weight.
True.
There's other cool little features they added in there, like you can now camouflage yourself. Like,
like Lara Croft.
If you're prone and like in some mud or some bushes and stuff like that, you'll kind of like take some of the environment and like smear all over yourself like Predator style, like Arnold freaking Schwarzenegger, and kind of
That
like
looks cool.
sneak around that way. So it was really sick. You said that Lara Croft did that?
Yeah, in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, she can like Rambo herself into the environment. Like, she
Really?
can put mud on herself and like fade away into like
Interesting.
the brush.
I didn't know
and
that.
stuff.
So
Like, yeah, that's kind of cool how they're like putting those together.
yeah, and so it's like they're taking the kind of like, and I didn't play Wildlands. I know a lot of people did, and it was really good. And I always felt like Wildlands was more of like it's kind of generally more like a Rambo-y style of game. You know, you just kind of just get on a truck with a 50 cal machine gun, you know, and you're playing the Star Spangled Banner, and you're just driving through, honking your horn, and you guys just lighting everything up in sight. But this is a little bit different. It should be, I guess, a little more tactical.
How does
That's
that
based off of
style
what
appeal
they
to
show us.
you, say? Because you played Wildlands, right? And you liked it a lot, right?
Yeah, on easy mode, you could Rambo. On normal or anything above normal or higher, you really can't. You really can't Rambo.
Okay.
So does
the
this
enemies are too tough.
slower tactical style, is
So
that like,
stealth.
oh, this is appealing? Or is that like, nah, I want
I love that you can
like
move the
stealth.
difficulty slider. I love that you could do that because sometimes it just gets so annoying and you know you're frustrated. You just lower that slider down and then you go.
I mean,
down.
yeah,
But
I mean, you can just lower the difficulty.
personally, the approach that I like stealth. It's always cooler to do stealth.
I agree. I really like stealth combat.
So you liked what you saw in that gameplay
Yeah.
footage?
I'm wondering, is it ray tracing? Because
It's gotta be. It's gotta be.
It looks
It
beautiful.
looks stunning,
just
yeah.
the way everything looks, it's gotta be ray tracing, dude.
Dude, everything looks
Yeah.
good with ray tracing. I saw a video with Minecraft with ray tracing.
It looks amazing.
It's
dude.
insane, dude.
It's
I'm
Minecraft.
not even kidding. It was Minecraft with ray tracing on, and it was insane. It looked beautiful. I mean, everything was square shaped,
So those boxes were like
but
shining.
they were real.
They look realistic,
Sick.
but they're like cubes. It's funny.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
But yeah, there was definitely a lot of ray tracing going on in that game because it looked fantastic.
yeah. That's
So
funny.
that's really cool. There's also some other details. I was watching this live, so I was writing a bunch of stuff down.
Politics, I think, is the next thing we got.
4-player
Politics.
co-op.
Oh yeah.
PvP at launch. Oh, there's gonna be in this new Ghost Recon game. There'll be raids too, so that's cool.
Yeah, they're adding raids, and this was being Epic Store and Uplay exclusive.
Yep.
So no Steam.
No
sorry.
Steam for you guys.
Sorry,
No
PC
Steam
players.
for
I
you.
know we talked about this like 2 weeks ago, how they might not be doing that anymore, but they're still doing it.
Yeah, and then there will be new expansions. I think they said every few months, so that's cool. So this is shaping up to be like a cool game.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then actually pretty interesting legal news,
Political
matter in the U.S. So we've talked about this happening in Europe.
happened in Europe.
Happened in Europe, sorry.
Netherlands and
like,
Belgium.
Netherlands and Belgium and a lot of different places over there where basically they're trying to ban loot boxes, especially to minors because
It's all for the kids.
because you know these vulture companies realize like, hey, we can just put a bunch of shiny things inside these loot boxes, put $2 price tag on there, and then little Jimmy's gonna go bug his mom for it until she kills herself. So, you know,
Yep. That's what they say in their meetings. I'm pretty sure.
yeah, I was pretty sure. Yeah, they probably say "little Jimmy" as in quotes. So, but anyways, the news is a U.S. Missouri senator proposes a bill to ban loot boxes and pay-to-win tactics in games, and to anybody who is 18 years or younger than 18. Younger than 18 years. When you're not a legal consenting adult. So. This basically this whole thing is to gear towards protecting kids from these predatory microtransactions, because as you all know, children, a lot of them actually is actually fairly common where you know, parents who aren't really you know, game savvy like our guy over here, who don't really understand that just because a game is free to play doesn't mean it's always free. And so that's kind of like, you know, you have these kids who have access to their parents' credit cards, and
Somehow,
which for one reason, like, why does your kid know your PIN and stuff? Why does your kid know all? Why can he get your credit card so easily? That's kind of your fault, but that's besides the point. So they've been taking these credit cards, and then, you know, before you know it, look, you have $100 extra on your credit card bill this month, and you're like, what
is
heck
this
happened?
Epic
What is
Games?
this? What is this banana skin thing? So yeah, and we all know like some of one of the biggest or if not the biggest would be Fortnite, obviously. because not only is it very popular, very, very popular amongst the young audience, but they have a lot of really shiny, cool skins on there that a kid will literally kill your dog for. So it's
that's no exaggeration. My 10-year-old and his friends,
that's all they talk about.
10 is like the sweet spot. That's the sweet
everything
spot right there.
It's everything to them, man. It's always who's got the best Fortnite swag with his kids nowadays.
For any new listeners, we actually we touched on this. We touched on loot boxes back on, I want to say, as far back as episode 3, like episode 2 or 3. It was one of the first
within
episodes.
the first 10 episodes, yeah.
And the basis that the politicians are basing this whole new bills on, or this new law, is it's gambling.
Yeah.
That's basically the platform. That it's gambling, and we're introducing gambling to kids at such an early age.
Yep.
And I remember when we first discussed the topic, I was like, that's reaching, and I was against it. But I can see now the gambling aspect to it, because you're paying money in hopes to hit it big. Like for us adults, hitting it big, winning a car or thousands of dollars. But hitting it big for a 10-year-old is that exclusive skin.
I mean,
or they might get a
that'd
shitty
be pretty
skin.
big for me too, but yeah.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I think it is gambling, and I think that they're too young to
understand that the game is working against you on purpose, and you're just kind of feeding the machine, and you can live without the skin.
How do you feel about the battle pass system?
I think the battle pass system. I personally think the battle pass system is a nice option for people who are into the game. They play regularly, and they are not getting sucked into buying everything. Because ideally, with the battle pass, you can only need buy the battle pass once, because you gain enough V-Bucks through the battle pass that you should be able to purchase the battle pass again for the next season.
Right.
The reason why it's not always the case, like, especially some people who may not have full self-control, is because the items that you can purchase would be more than you have left over for the battle pass.
Right.
So like you need 950 for the battle pass, according to Sola.
He's the Fortnite expert.
He's the Fortnite guy in the office. So according to him, you need 950, and he's saying I always make sure I get at least 950 at all times, and he doesn't have to buy it. But
I think I'm a fan of that, because
I think
because you
I
buy
think
in
that's fair.
once, and it is a free game, and if you do spend like tons of hours in it, you're like, I don't think it's that bad to be like, this is a battle pass. I'll use this once, and then I'll just keep gaining things from it. Okay. What do you think about that as a parent?
You do get the best. Some of the best stuff through the battle pass too, and it's not random. Like you'll see, like at level 50, you're getting this. So like the battle pass, I think is okay, but generally loot boxes, I don't like, especially when there's a lot of kids on the game. I know that loot boxes are pretty predatory.
Deep Pooley brings up a good point as far as the loot box analogy. He says we should then shut down places like Dave & Buster's, because you're paying money at a chance to hit a jackpot.
Yeah, but isn't that gambling still?
I could see it. I could see that as being, because gambling, I could see that. I think that one is a little bit. It's a little bit. They give it a pass because most of the times the parents are right there with like the children aren't running around unsupervised.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. At Dave & Buster's. You don't see 10-year-olds running around rampant.
Because the children's not going to like take $50 out of their mom's purse and then ride their bike 10 miles to go to Dave & Buster's. Like.
Right, and after the parents is $20 or $30 or $40 is spent, it's like, all right, we're done. We're going home.
Yeah. So you have the parent there to mediate because he's there, and you have to go up to your mom and be like, hey, can I get $10 more? And be like, no, we're going home. You already spent $60 today, I believe.
Right, and I guess a more appropriate analogy would be if Dave & Buster's allowed unsupervised children into their store with their mommy's credit card.
Right.
So then they wouldn't do that.
Come on in, kid.
I don't know what the policy is, but I'm pretty sure they're not allowed to have just like a kid, just like a 10-year-old, just kind of come in and make himself at home, and it's like, hey, where'd you get all this money? So
right,
probably raise some suspicion, but to just some IP address online and seeing the purchases from this IP, Epic is just like, oh, it's just money. I don't know who it is, so who cares?
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I mean,
step one. The addiction is a real thing, man. Like on my son was here at the office yesterday on our drive home. He was asking me like if he could use his allowance money to buy the battle pass because he let it dip below the 950 V-Bucks. So as NASA explained, once it dips below, you have to buy it again, right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, once the season is over, right, and you have less. Than
the new season is
okay.
Has started up. I think it just recently
it started up yesterday.
And he was like on the verge of being in tears. He's gonna hate that I'm putting this out there, but he was on the verge of being in tears on the ride home because my initial answer is, I mean, we could always buy it later on, right?
Yeah, you can buy it whenever.
But I just wanted, for my own curiosity's sake, I wanted to see how
to sit on it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say, you know what? You don't need the battle pass to play with your friends. And he goes, he's trying to come up with an answer. Yeah, I guess, you don't need it. He goes, but I'm going to be a lower tier, and everybody's going to be a higher tier. And
there you go, man.
Make fun of
there you go.
And I'm like,
there
it is.
And that's the
there
thing.
It is,
that's
baby.
the thing with kids in Fortnite nowadays is because it's becoming like this like exclusive club kind of thing where like you don't have the dopest skins, so like
you're scrub.
You're a scrub. You're new.
But I think the way the battle pass makes it available is fair. Like I still think it's fair that once you get the battle pass, you can still earn it again. Like I think that's fair.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the grip that this game has.
Yeah, I know.
At the tender age that they got. I kind of got a kick out of it because I remember being his age. Like, I wanted a starter jacket, and when my mom bought me BK Knights instead of Reeboks or Nikes, like, I cried. I'm like, I'm gonna get killed. I'm gonna get killed mercilessly.
Totally ripped on.
Yes. And you're gonna let me wear these BK Knights.
Yeah.
You get roasted hard if you're wearing a default.
You really do. They call you a default.
Right.
Nice.
Yes, that's like the general term, like, oh, you're a default.
And it sucks for us. We're adults already. Can you imagine a 10-year-old? Like,
it's way worse.
Oh my word.
Yeah, like if I'm playing Fortnite and it calls me a default, I'm like, hey, fuck you, kid. I'm like, all right.
Yeah. So I guess just to kind of like just to see how he would respond, I said, does it feel bad when you get killed by a default? And he goes, oh yeah, that's the worst. That never happens. I was like, well, so why don't you be that person dosing out those?
There are actually people who do that. They would purposely put on a default skin, but they're like really good and they wreck people. There are people who actually do that. So Deep Poodle, you're actually against this bill or this bill. That's what I'm hearing. You don't like the fact that they're trying to ban loot boxes for children.
I think he is.
Please comment.
I think he is. There's a little bit of a lag.
Well, wait, it's fine.
Yeah. Wait. Walmart Shaq shoes. I remember those, Vitamin J. You wanted Jordans, you got the Walmart Shaq shoes.
Lol. Do you guys, what do you guys want to do? We're hitting the 12 o'clock point. We do have some rapid fire news to cover, but it's up to you guys.
We had some neat little
free flowing podcast.
Okay.
Something we
keep on going, I guess.
So the Xbox One SAT edition, like we correctly predicted, launched earlier this week on the day we said it would. For $250.
$250.
You are an idiot, Microsoft. All right, that's what I'm gonna say.
Actually, good point, Deep Woodley. He brought up back. Sorry,
let them gamble.
Yeah, he said let them gamble.
Let
it's
them
like
fight.
Baseball cards. I remember plopping down $3-4 for baseball, basketball. Football.
That's the very famous analogy that everyone likes to use is baseball cards.
Yes.
Like, baseball cards isn't gambling.
But let's look at what baseball cards are. They're like packages in a store where you have to go and ask, your mom or whatever for these things for money.
Yeah, I think
like
the main issue.
A loot box is like a big shiny thing that's available digitally right there. I think that's the main difference.
I don't understand how.
That's a damn good point.
I don't understand
it's there in front of you.
These developers could stop that from happening. Because they can have
like
a little.
Don't put them in.
They can have like a little box that says like, "Are you 18 or older?" Like when you go to Pornhub and you're like, yeah.
So think of it this way,
dude. Like, yeah, 18.
Think of it this way: if this passes, half of EA's revenue is loot boxes.
Yeah.
Half.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this is EA.
EA
Is not
really,
going
that's
to go
a
down
good
fighting.
analogy. I don't have a rebuttal to that. That's a damn good analogy.
What, baseball cards and loot boxes?
Baseball cards, yeah. That is loot boxes.
That is a loot box.
That is a loot box because you can get that exclusive. That
You want that Mickey Mantle rookie card, man?
I'm not that old, bro. I remember wanting the Penny Hardaway rookie card or the Ken Griffey Jr.
Mm-hmm.
I had the Ken Griffey Jr. and I had the Frank Thomas, and I traded it. But anyway, I got them both from a pack. That's a loot box.
Yep.
And I was obsessed over it.
Yep.
I would save my allowance and drop all my allowance to buy packs. In hindsight, that was dumb as hell. I should have just bought the card that I wanted.
That is the same thing. It's just a virtual pack.
Other countries make them post an actual number of chance.
The way that they're getting around it with these other countries is making what you get in the loot boxes more transparent.
Right.
So like it'll say, and this is actually a thing with
Rocket League does that. Rocket League's loot box. It's like you see the items go around and around and around and around, and then it stops on the item you get
from the loot box. And you see your percentage chance of getting each thing.
Yo, checkmate. I got it. But you know what? They should have allowed that, man. I wasted a lot of money, bro. But you know what? Let them learn.
So
let them learn, right?
You know, like when you spend $5 on a loot box, you only have like. And the percentage chance some of the percentage chances are like 0.005% chance of getting the legendary super cool epic skin. Like
to get
coolest stuff.
Ronaldo and FIFA, it's less than a 0.1% chance.
You have a better chance of getting like struck by lightning and hit by a shark and winning the lottery in the same day.
If they would have put those odds on the packs back when I was in
would you have bought them?
Hell no! Like the chance of getting that card that I want is 1 in a million. I'd be like, yeah, you're not getting my $3.
Yeah,
that's why.
And so that's why they don't. But that's
why
they
should.
Oh, it's gambling.
That's why they should.
It's gambling, dude.
Like, you know how dumb that was? I remember dropping $50 after one birthday to buy packs of cards instead of just taking that $50 and buying that one card that I wanted.
Something cool.
Yeah. Like, oh my god, it's so dumb.
Vitamin J's like, oh, I'd still buy it. I guess so. You're saying that now. You're saying that now as an adult, but as the small malleable sig as a child. You'd be like, oh fuck yeah, dude, I'm getting that thing.
Bro, you get that rush. You get that same rush when you put $100 on a red. You open it like.
Yeah, dude.
That rush is not there if you
now
buy
imagine
it
now.
right.
This is a pack of baseball cards. Imagine with a loot box, you have like a CS:GO loot box. It has like a ton of lights, a ton of noise, a ton of like visual audio cues that are like.
CS:GO loot boxes are crap, dude. You have to pay to open the loot box. Screw that. Or like, all right, you won a loot box during the match. You gotta spend $3 to get the key to open this loot box, there, kid.
I still think it's gambling. All right, my stance hasn't changed that it's gambling. And now I'm a little bit softer. I think it's okay to let because as long as they learn the negative lesson. As long as kids
as long as they learn the lesson.
As long as you guys learn,
you should let him use his allowance money.
As long as they learn that gambling sucks, I'm fine with that. But if they think gambling's good and they carry that on to adulthood, that could be detrimental to their.
Yeah, like I think
free.
An interesting thing would be like, okay, Cade, you can do this, but if you don't keep up your 950, you ain't getting it again.
Like I'm not buying you another battle pass. You can use your thing.
You better make sure you got 950 in the bank.
So like, say he buys a battle pass, and then for that rest of the month he uses all of his allowance on loot boxes or other skins and stuff like that. And then the next
They'll
season
teach him the value of saving too.
Like, I don't think he's ever going to do it again. I don't think he'll ever let it dip down again. But
there you go.
In regards to loot boxes, like if I was going to let him use his allowance money, because he works hard for it, bro.
Okay,
he sweeps and mops.
If he works hard, you know, that's his.
He works hard
choice,
for
right?
it. You know, and if he wanted to do that and waste it on a loot box where the hopes of getting what he wants and he doesn't,
and then he's like, screw this! I don't want
gambling
this.
is bad. Don't do that.
He gets paid for sweeping and mopping. It's like, dude, I was like,
I
would do sweeping and mopping so I wouldn't get screamed at.
Yeah, that's what I did. I get paid for that. Are you kidding me?
At 10?
Yeah,
I didn't do that.
Yeah,
I chopped wood at 10, dude.
He's chopping wood tomorrow.
It's like telling my dad no is just like risk getting an ass whooping.
Yeah, I tell my dad no a lot, dude.
I never told my dad no, dude.
He's like, "What'd you say to me, boy?"
That's literally it. You're like, I wouldn't even
like
say
Kratos,
no.
dude.
What'd you say, boy?
Man,
No,
you
I
guys
didn't
were
ask
mopping?
what you wanted.
You guys were mopping?
I was
I
sweeping
was
at
cutting the
least.
grass.
Yeah, I was kind of. Yeah.
Like 10, yeah.
Man.
I was cutting the grass at 10, watching my brother.
Well, we
Yeah.
are
Cleaning
at
up stuff.
12:04.
Yeah. would be.
I guess we could cover
there's little things in here. All right, let's run through rapid fire. All right, let's go. EA Access is heading to PS4 in July for $5 per month, $30 per the year.
That's another one we got right, guys. That's another one we said in the rumors.
Boom. So EA Access lets you access all the pretty little EA games for a
That's really not a bad deal, to be honest with you.
$5 per month for like what, dozens, like if not hundreds of games, like lots of games.
Yeah.
A bunch of games. And so EA projects projects Respawn Star Wars game will sell $6 to $8 million by fiscal year end.
Million copies.
Oh, million copies.
Yeah, I didn't write
my
dollars
bad.
there.
No, my bad. Yeah, so 6 to 8 million copies by the fiscal year end. We'll see about that.
That's going to be the end of
like I said,
March.
We don't even know what the game looks like right now. So
end of March.
We'll see about that. EA and Respawn plan to bring Apex Legends to the mobile platform later this year.
Good luck.
Why? I don't know.
Good luck, kid.
I think I honestly isn't like really big in like China and Korea, like mobile gaming and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's massive.
Maybe it's for them, dude.
I love how you're looking at me like.
No. I was looking in the general direction. You can play it back. I was not looking at you. I'm not a racist.
Rewind the tape.
And you can't say that kind of stuff to a white person nowadays. Dude. I'll be hanged.
Yeah, dude, your career's over, dude. Your career's already over, dude. It's over.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. EA is changing its whole launch schedule due to the absolute crap show that was Anthem.
So basically, they came out and said, hey, when we do live service games, we're going to do more of a soft boot, which is like having it in beta for like 6 months, I guess. And then after that, cleaning it up and then releasing the game, full-fledged release on one day. So that's pretty much what they would do.
They're going to do what they did with Anthem, but it's not going to be called a release.
Yeah, it's just going to be called a beta.
Just like, hey, the game is done, but we're not done. So
yeah, so that's pretty much what they'll do.
So
we'll see. We'll see. That's what they say.
Something else coming on the mobile sphere, Dead Cells. You know, we've talked about Dead Cells a little bit. It's a side-scrolly
that's going to be literally
dungeon crawler game. Going to be made into a mobile game soon for the iOS first, then most likely Android devices later
on. It's going to be so effing hard to play on mobile, dude.
I can't really see myself using the touch.
It's a very precise game
for that. I mean, yeah, it seems really tough. Maybe I know some people have like these rigs that they can attach to their phone to make it easier. Maybe you're one of those.
It's not mobile anymore, dude.
Maybe you're one of those people. I don't know. Code Vein. For those of you who don't know what Code Vein was, Top Hat Jones and myself were pretty excited about it about a year ago when it was supposed to release or something. No, actually, it was supposed to be like September. But a while ago, it was supposed to release. It was supposed to be like this Dark Souls, Bloodborne-esque game, but focusing more on a super anime style. And you're like a vampire, and there's like you have powers and crazy claws and guns and stuff. It looked cool, and everyone was really excited about it coming out. They had a play test for it, like a live play test. They had people come in and try it out. It did not do well. People did not like it. I'm not really sure what exactly people didn't like about it. I think it was the actual combat gameplay itself. It just didn't jive with a lot of people. So they were like, all right, we're going back to the drawing board, and we're going to try it again. And so now Code Vein has come out of hiding and is going to be showing off some new gameplay footage this week. And you can go ahead and check that out on the YouTubes. Just type in Code Vein.
You can sign up for the network test like I did.
And sign up for the network test like he did. And
maybe that means it's
do.
soon. Because they're doing a network test. Maybe that means
it's like network
kind
test.
of, getting there.
So they're doing what they can. I like to see when companies are aware that their game did not do well and did not jive well, and they are doing what they can to make it better. This is good. This is good stuff. This is good stuff. Good news. This developer is doing it right. Let's see. Moving on. Oh, this was actually really cool.
You should pull a picture of this.
Yeah, Mister, you should pull up a picture of this. Look up. Let's look up this bull right here.
Is it? Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Which one? The Game of Thrones. So, there's actually been 2 consoles, just 2.
Only 2.
2 very unique consoles that are Xbox One, the SAT edition. That's the Xbox One S All Digital Edition. It's the little baby console that doesn't have a disc drive, and it's not as powerful as basically any of the other current Xbox consoles.
Which one? 4th row, 3rd from left. This? Yes.
Boom.
Oh God, they look
So,
so hot. They look so hot.
They're having 2 exclusive Game of Thrones themes Xbox One S all digital edition consoles.
And they look like that.
And they look absolutely sick.
Yo, they look good.
And so there's going to be one is going to be the House Targaryen one, which is the red one, and the other blue one is actually going to be the Night King. You thought it would be like Stark and Targaryen, but it's not. It's Night King who's.
He's a guy in the show.
He's a guy in the show. I'm not going to spoil it for you because I will probably have a mob at my door. But that's what it looks like.
Man,
it looks pretty cool.
They look really cool, man.
Go ahead and sign up. You will be the envy of literally half of the world if you actually get one of these things.
Are those textured or is it a sticker?
I think they're textured.
That looks like textured. That looks like it is.
It looks so sick.
I really like the Targaryen one with the scales. It looks sick as hell.
Looks sick.
I do like that. So this is really cool, and I would probably sell my left nut to get one of these.
If there was a PlayStation 4 Pro over that, I'd be doing some things.
I would probably get my left nut to get one of these things. It is really cool.
It looks so cool.
But that comes to us from VG247. So if you're interested in Game of Thrones and having a Game of Thrones console that is literally one of a kind, go ahead and sign up for it.
2 of them. Oh, it is one of a kind.
They're one of a kind. Yeah, you
only
only get one or the other.
True.
So go ahead and sign up for it, and if you do that, you get it. I hate you, and I wish I was you.
Man, they look so nice.
Moving on, the original Devil May Cry is coming to Switch this summer.
Good luck with that, guys.
So, I guess there's that. I really don't know many people who still play the original Devil May Cry.
Nobody.
I tried it. The original Devil May Cry did not age well. I think it only really aged well for people who played original Devil May Cry on, PlayStation 1 or 2, wherever it came out for, millennia ago. Because I tried it with the remastered release, and I've only played Devil May Cry 4 and above. So the first 3 I've never played, and it was not great. Yeah. There was the camera angles really worked against you, and
it's not going to be good.
It's just not going to be good. It's not great. But I don't want to jump to conclusions. It might turn out well. It might sell well. I personally, as I am right now, do not think that it's going to do very well on the Switch, and I feel like this is kind of just a cash grab from Capcom because I really don't see any reason why people would buy this game. I don't know. I mean, people are really into Devil May Cry series, so maybe they will. I'm jumping to conclusions, but that's our 2 cents on that. And then. What's this? Get a year of PlayStation Plus until May 31st, or while in stock at Mass Genie. So go ahead and check that out. Mass Genie's got some crazy deals. $40 for a full year of PlayStation Plus.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
So there you go.
By the way, what we're going to start doing is on our website, listeners and viewers, guys, if you go to fpsguides.com, along the right side, there's links that get updated real time for hot deals online.
Put it up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we should be
just describing it.
There you go. So you got
now.
Got hot deals online on the right side here. This is pulling from an RSS feed. If you're like me and you don't want to check 50 different websites, we scrape for the hottest deals on Slick Deals for video game category.
Boom.
So grab some of the latest news on Game Informer. Grab some latest news on Reddit, the video game subreddit. And that's it. And then what we're going to start doing is I'll start pasting the punch list each week.
Oh,
on the website.
Okay, yeah.
Because what happened was, for anybody that listens on, I know there's 10 of y'all out there that listen every week on.
You guys are real MVPs.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys the stars.
That's awesome.
No, there's 10 on the Twitch live, but there's also 10 that listen on Spotify or Apple iTunes.
Hello, listeners.
And what happened was I took the punch list, which is like Word format.
Mm-hmm.
I copy and pasted it into our podcast software, and it threw an error. So like the last week and the week before it was showed 0 listeners. I'm like, something must have happened. And I went in and looked at, there was an error. So I can't paste this on the descriptions anymore. We'll start pasting these onto the website. Right. So if you want a quick summary,
or you just want to see what we've been talking about this past 36 episodes.
Yeah.
39 episodes. Almost 40 episodes. Jesus Christ.
I know, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's all I got.
There you go. So look at that. We are, like I said, guys, we are trying to be your one-stop shop.
Trying to be real.
Your one-stop shop. Just go to fpsguys.com. Get whatever you need.
Oh, yeah, and there's the Bitcoin price there, too. Buy your Bitcoin. Don't buy a whole Bitcoin. Just buy a little bit. It's going up and going up.
Boom.
It's bottomed out already.
Anything tech or gaming related, come to fpsguys.com. Tell your friends, tell your dog, tell your grandma, tell everybody.
Definitely tell your grandma.
Definitely tell your grandma. You know that you know she's gonna wreck you in Smash Bros later tonight. So go ahead and get them on fpsguys.com. I guess we'll go ahead and change it out, or
that's it. We
close it out for today.
Yeah,
wrap it up, guys. So, well, thank you for stopping by, as always, ladies and gentlemen, and gamers everywhere. Remember to smash them like and subscribe buttons. It always is a huge help to us. We are almost to our 50 follower goal on Twitch. We are at follow 37 right now. Last person was Moby Shasha. Thank you, Moby Shasha, for following our channel. You can also check out our content right now on YouTube, Twitch, Apple Play, Spotify, our beautiful website right there, and on Alexa. You know what to do with Alexa. Just tell her FPS Guide stuff. You know what to do. Just scream at her, FPS Guide, play now! And she'll probably make something work. Also, please check our link in the description for our Discord. Come in, chat, play with us. At least one of us is on basically at all times.
Usually,
during the workday, it's a little gray. But go ahead and jump on there. Play with us. Like I said, we tell you what we're playing every week. World War Z, Diablo, the Smash Bros. Games. We're playing games. So jump in and play with us. And don't forget to tell your friends about us. Tell your grandma, tell your dog. And don't forget, Dan, please provide feedback. We love feedback. It really helps us grow the channel and make it where you guys want to come and see. So, anybody who has given us feedback so far, thank you very much. And I'm rambling right now, so we'll go ahead and close it out. Play games, everybody. We love you.
Play games. See ya. Have a good one.
Have a great weekend.
The weekend.
Have a good Mother's Day. Tell your mom I said hi.
Mother's Day.
Tell your mom I said